So one of the most common questions that I get is, DV, what's the best enchant build? You know, I only have 4 slots, or I'm, free to play, I only have 2 slots, or I'm pay to win, I've got everything. What would you recommend for the best diamond build, or hatching build, or loot build? I get all sorts of questions with this. And in this video, we're going to be going through the best builds, no matter what your situation is, whether you're free to play, whether you're pay to win. Maybe you only have 1 enchant unlocked, so you're only going to have the 1. And of course, with the recent update, you have loadouts, so you can start setting up different types of loadouts depending on what you're doing. So there's 5 different loadouts you can do. And so I'm going to cover the best loadouts by type, whether you're hatching the latest egg, maybe you're trying to get diamonds, maybe you're trying to do tap damage so you can break chests faster. There's all different types of purposes or builds you could be making with enchants. And today we're going to go through all of those. Now, if you enjoy Petsum99 videos, please hit that like button. Also, subscribe if you're new to the channel. It does help me a lot. We're on our way to 1 million subscribers, so every single subscriber counts. So how I'm going to format this video, we're going to go through both free to play and pay to win. Whenever I show you these builds, just imagine the first enchant that I place in here would be the same enchant if you're free to play. Okay, so like the first enchant that I place. So for example, if I say for lucky eggs, this is the enchant, the first enchant I place, then that's going to be, if you have a single slot for free to play, that's the enchant you should put in here. So the reason why I did this in particular order is I sorted it based on free to play only. So the top 5 are going to be free to play, I'm going to assume, because you can unlock these as free to play, and only pay to win enchants are going to go in here. In here, I'm only going to place stuff that's less common. So magic orbs, for example, or maybe chest mimic, maybe it's lucky block. So expensive enchants are going to go in here, and then the stuff for free to plays are going to go in here. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. So for the hatching build, this is the best build that I would recommend. So again, first slot is always going to be, even if you only have 1 slot available, this is the one you're going to want to use, and use your highest tier. Okay, of course, like if you're a new player and you only have 1 slot available, you're probably not going to have a lucky egg 7 unless maybe you're grinding an alt or something and you're trying to load them out with the proper stuff. So the first thing you're going to do is going to be lucky eggs, the best one you have. I have a 7 right now. I don't have all 7s, so I will eventually, but I just really haven't prioritized that because you don't really need a bunch of these. Like it just incrementally like helps, but it doesn't help a ton. We're first going to do that one. We're going to also do a second lucky eggs, and then after the second and third, so these do stack, just so you're clear on it. All of these do stack, but it gets really watered down, meaning it goes from like this 125% down to like half that, and it continues to go half and half and half. It's almost like that. It's not the exact math because they don't really reveal their exact percentage breakdowns, but when I was testing diamonds, it was like 40%, and then like another one of these was like, I think it was like 25 or so. I did a video on this. It drops significantly, especially like strong pets. It goes from like 30%, 20%, and then it drops like 10% or 15%, and then it just keeps going down and down. So they do stack, but it's not to the degree that it's having more than 2 usually. In this case, you're just talking about hatching, so you might as well put your best in here. So what I would recommend is 3 of these first. So the next one we're going to do is Shiny Hunter, and you can get this for free. Okay, so Blinding Light, you have to hatch 2,000 shiny pets. That does take quite a bit, but your hatching is going to eventually give you enough of these. You could always buy it in the trading plaza. The thing about this one though is if you can't afford it and you can't get it, continue to load up on all lucky eggs. All right, so try to get it as soon as you can, and then we're going to put either a second Shiny Hunter, which I like to do because it gives, it is less than 60%. It's probably like half that, but it's still going to help, right? So why wouldn't you do it if it's going to help? And for pay to wins, you're just going to put 2 more lucky enchants here, and then ultimately a coins one. And the reason why we're doing coins is because you probably have auto farm, and if you do, then you're going to be able to go over here, and then you're going to set up auto farm. You're going to put the magnet flag down like that. And I'm not going to do it here, but you can also now, with this update, you can right click and put max, and that's going to max it out. So I think it's about 2 hours. So you get 2 hours of magnet, and while they're auto farming, they're not going to follow you back when you go to hatch, right? So you go back to main area, and this is why I always recommend this one. If you don't have much Robux for game passes, this one's definitely worth it. Every single time I do a noob to pro video or free to play video, I just cringe because I miss this. But while they're doing that and they're giving you coins, you can come over here and hatch, right? Like I said, the only reason why we have coins here is so we can farm, so we never really have to leave hatching. We can keep hatching. Now, if you don't have that much damage, you can modify this depending on your setup. So obviously I have a full team of huges and I've got a bunch of Titanics, but if you didn't have that, if you have very low damage, you would want to mix in some criticals, right? So that's an alternative build, mixing criticals, especially up to maybe even up to here. You can do something like this as well. It just depends on your situation. Everyone has different damage. So the next question is, DV, what's the best loot build? And and I have it for you. So for our second loadout here, we're going to start off with Treasure Hunter. Now, this again assumes you only have one slot, all right? If you have 2 slots, you're going to mix in a critical. And the reason being is you want to increase that damage, because if you only have 2 slots, this is going to be pretty painful for you. Plus, you would always want criticals anyway, because you're going to get chests, you're going to get all kinds of stuff out of this. So you want to be able to break stuff quickly. Then we're going to put another treasure, all right? So you have 2 treasures, 1 critical. These are going to be giving you quite a bit, just these 2 alone. And this stacks way better than a lot of other enchants that I've seen. So compared to like diamonds or coins, I don't know what it is, but 2 treasure hunter works really well. Same with 2 criticals. 2 criticals stacks really well. They're very, very effective having 2 of them. But same with chest mimic. You know, there's a bunch of enchants that actually work significantly better having 2 of them. You know, except for like maybe coins and diamonds, it doesn't really help as much. So this is your free to play build right here still. And then we're going to continue with the free to play, which next is going to be magnet. All right. The reason why you want magnet is you're going to be dropping things. They're going to be, you know, the items are going to be blowing out of the area. Sometimes you see like a potion launches out of, you know, the area, and you want to make sure you're picking that up, especially if you're AFKing. So magnet is incredibly important. I use this even while I'm active, just because it saves me a lot of time. Highly recommend it. Even if you only had 4 slots, this is what I'd put in next. Now we get into a little bit of pay to win, but not really. Okay. This one is going to be very expensive for you. So I'm not going to start with chest mimic. That's typically what I would put in next, but because it's cheaper, we're going to go start with the lucky block. So lucky block is the next one I would put in. These are going to give you a lot of loot. So every time this spawns, you're most likely going to get some kind of loot drop. And then we need chest mimic. And the reason why we have chest mimic is those treasure chests, a lot of the times they have loot. All right. So we have such high loot already. This is going to increase your loot. Also, they did add a game pass recently. So, you know, it's called super drops. So you get better random item drops. They're just better items. Okay. So you're basically increasing your quality, very similar to having the magic eggs. So you're just going to get higher quality stuff by having this game pass. I did test it. It's, yeah, you get a lot better stuff. You get a lot of legendaries. You get, sometimes you get divines, even mythicals. And the next thing for this is because you have lucky block as well as chest mimic, you're going to be spawning a lot of things that are going to slow your team down, right? Even critical's not going to help you there. So you want chest breaker. I did look online. I was looking at like a tier list to see what other people thought about chest breaker, and I was really surprised to see this really undervalued. This is like 300% damage. So you got to have this, all right? This is not like a, I don't know if it's good. This thing is fantastic. This is one of the best damage enchants, especially that it does almost 300% damage to chest. Highly, highly recommend this. You're going to break chests, you're going to break comets, you're going to break all kinds of stuff very, very quickly. And then finally, we're going to include massive comet. These are pretty cheap, right? The most expensive one is chest mimic because it went limited. This one you can still get, as well as this one you can still get from starter packs, like when you first, you know, load the game. If you can't buy it anymore, what I'd recommend is just go get an alt. I think you have to buy the first or second starter pack, and you can still buy this a little bit cheaper than especially if you have the Robux. But if not, just go get this inside the trade plaza. It's pretty cheap. Yeah, I mean, and if you can't afford this, yeah, that's okay. Just do damage for a bit until you can afford it, then buy it, and then put it in the slot. All good. And then obviously these are for the pay to wins. For this one, what you're going to want to do also is I'm going to include this little tip for you. You're going to want to stack this treasure flag. Let me show you. Absolutely crazy. Okay, so our magnet flag's gone. So let me show you what this thing does. All right. So go to flags, exotic treasure flag. As soon as I do this, here we go. You're going to start seeing some craziness. Now, I have 0 potions running right now. Of course, you're going to want to put some potions in there. Look at that. We just got a legendary. We haven't even broken this yet. There we go. Okay, now that we got that, what we're going to do is we're going to add a treasure hunter potion. Assuming I have one. There we go. We can put in a couple of these as well. There we go. So you can see I'm just constantly getting items. Look at this. It never stops. Like, you're constantly hearing the chimes. Now, much of this is the flag. I will tell you that. You don't have to have this build to be able to get this much stuff. This flag is OP. Probably one of the most underrated flags in the game besides maybe the new rainbow one. But, I mean, look, I just got a diamond flag. I'm just constantly getting stuff. So item after item after item. And, of course, this super drops is helping. And I'm also in a clan that has a plus 10% drop rate because we have a clan like level 5. Yeah, this is probably one of my favorite builds ever. This is like my new diamond grind. This is everything for me now. Besides hatching for the battle, this is what I do now. So highly recommend this build. Really, really powerful. You can modify it as you need to, depending on your damage. I do quite a bit of damage. If you're lacking it though, you can always swap out magnet and just be super active, right? So you can't AFK very easily. This is the only one I would swap out with maybe more crit. So I could do that. And then I can just run around. Now your stuff's going to be like breaking things so much faster. All right, we're going to leave that running, but we're going to now hit the next build, which is going to be your diamonds build. So diamonds is a controversial topic because everyone has an opinion, okay? Everyone thinks they have the diamond build. I think the best diamond build is still going to be this one. No offense, but like just sell your items, all right? So do this, sell your loot. Like the amount of loot we're getting right now, like some of those bundles of flags, like look at, that's already 31,000 right there. I just got this just 10,000. I just keep getting stuff, and I'm pretty sure I just got this thing a little bit ago too. So that's 200,000. So yeah, like you're getting flags, you're getting enchants, you're getting all kinds of stuff constantly every second. Look at these. Like this is another 9,000 just now. This is the best diamond build period. All right, but pure diamond, if you're just, you don't want to have to go out to the trade plaza, you just want pure diamonds overnight. You want to be able to spend them right away. You don't want to mess with the daycare with this. Then what you're going to start with is obviously diamond. So this is for the free to play. So your first one's going to be diamond. Next one's going to be criticals because you need to break stuff very easily. You know, this helps with damage. Diamonds are tough to break. Next one we're going to do is going to be diamond again. And this will give you enough, like just these 3 enchants are already going to give you enough as it is. Obviously use your best diamonds enchant. I'm not telling you to use diamond 7 right out the gates if you're a new player. Just use whatever your best one is. Fourth one you're going to do is going to be magnet because diamonds get scattered all over the place. You do need that magnet to be able to pick them all up, especially if you're going to AFK, which you probably will be. If you're, you know, a smart player, you're going to be AFKing a lot. So you're going to do magnet 3. And then if you can get it, you're going to use fortune. Now, fortune's not the cheapest, but this is going to be the next one you're going to want to use, all right? The reason being is after 2, it's not going to be as good. If you can't get fortune, just swap it out with the diamond one. You can do this instead. You know, the difference being is fortune's going to be better than having another diamonds, because even though this says diamond 7 and it's, you know, increases the number of diamonds you earn from breakables by 50%, it's probably by now it's about 15%, 10 to 15%. So the nice thing about fortune, I use this even with coins, it's completely separate for its percentages. It stacks independently. That's going to be worth having. It's 40%. So this is like having another one of these technically. So this is your initial build for free to plays. Finally, we got a couple other things here. First up, another chest mimic. This is for your pay to wins. Chest mimic is epic, okay? So it gives you a ton of diamonds. It's a chance. Doesn't always give them to you, but it's really good. I would also recommend a lucky block or a second fortune. So you could do either of these. Lucky blocks is going to give you a lot of diamonds. It's easy to break, but of course, in order to help us break these, you want chest breaker, all right? So chest breaker is going to help break these 2 really fast. It's going to give you that extra damage. If you need to, you can technically swap out criticals with another diamonds. There's different builds you can use. You don't have to use this, you know, exact ones that I'm showing you. You have to do it based on your team, okay? No one's going to make a proper video for you saying these are the perfect scenarios if you have 5 huges and 1 titanic, but, you know, all normal pets. What would you put if you only had 1 huge? You know, like no one's going to do that. Too many variables, right? So this is the route I would take if I were you. Just change stuff based on the damage you're doing. I like criticals because even though I'm at the final zone, it still takes a while for me to break stuff. Look, I just got a charm stone, dude. Also, of course, for the flag, okay, let me show you the best flag for this. Based on this zone, you're gonna want to use fortune, not diamonds. The reason why is diamond breakables are good, but in my tests, diamonds flag is only good for increasing your breakables for that breakables quest. So if you have to break as many diamond breakables as you can, that's good for completing that quest, but beyond that, it's not very good for earning a lot of diamonds. So you're gonna want to use fortune flag, and then of course you could just right click on that, max it out for 2 hours. But this is gonna give you a lot of diamonds, all right? But again, full circle, loot grind's always better, all right? Do your loot build instead. Moving on from diamonds, we're going to talk about the best coin build you can do. You would think it would be coins, right? I mean, that's logical. It is logical. You're going to get extra coins, but it's really going to start out with criticals. You're going to want to start out with criticals because more damage equates to what? More breakables, right? So you're going to get more stuff broken, equating to more coins. But if you're just sitting there, even having a coin enchant, it's not going to help you that much compared to just breaking more stuff. You're going to break more stuff, you're going to get more coins. New players should always go for damage first. Then you're going to go to coins, all right? And you're going to start getting more coins because you're breaking, now it stacks. Now things start rolling. Then you're going to go for another criticals. So 2 criticals. 1 coin. Then you're going to go again with another coin. This is the order of sequence here. Stacking every other. Our 5th one is going to be fortune because similar to diamonds, like this thing gives you 100% more coins and it stacks independently. So you're basically starting over with another 100%er. So this is your free to play build once you're maxed out with those ranks. And then we're going to go into the pay to win. So on the pay to win side, you can pretty much AFK this stuff a lot easier. So you're going to use magnet. People who are free to play will probably have to be more active, or you can just swap one of these out if you have to. Like if you have to swap out magnet, just do that if you're AFKing. You're going to do this one next. And after that, we're going to go chest mimic again because these chests give you so many coins. So we're going to do that. And then of course we're going to get breaker. So you see a pattern. Breaker is amazing, underrated, most underrated enchant in the game, worth its weight in gems. And then of course you're going to put full stack of coin flags. That's the best thing to, put in with this. I already have this other flag going, but coin flag, max that out. That's the way to go. Now, if you're grinding different stages, maybe you're not really caring about like collecting or maxing out your coins, and you just want to get to the next stage, make sure you're just doing jars. If you have enough damage, do jars. Otherwise, just spam comets. If you have comets, these are going to be the best way to get, from zone to zone. Just spam those and you'll be able to get to the next zone very quickly. Also, of course, always drop a coin flag. Now we get into kind of the weird zone, all right? This is the zone called tap power. So with tap power, a lot of people are like, why would anyone do tap power? Because tapping is actually pretty powerful. What I would recommend is always the first one's going to be tap power. This thing is crazy good. It's almost like 3 times the damage. I think it's like 2+. So that's really powerful. I love tap power, especially when you're trying to break chests. So like, I'm going to show you over here. Just with this, I'm going to show you over here. I'm not even going to... Here, I'm going to leave my pets back here. Let them hang out over there. I'm going to go over to this chest over here. I'm going to show you how much tap power does. That was it. Almost insta break. Now, of course, I have a lot of extra damage because of my pets, but like that is crazy to me. It's like I said, it's almost like 3 times. So the next one we're going to do is going to be lightning because again, we're talking about, free to plays initially here with the priority of order. So this is assuming you only have 1 slot open. 2 slots would be these 2. So lightning is awesome. Also, I'm not going to enable auto tap. So auto tap will not be enabled, but you can see this thing does a lot of damage. Like the explosions of lightning is unreal. The third one we're going to do is going to be magnets so we can pick up all our debris as we're breaking. We don't want stuff like blowing up and getting out of the zone. So super helpful because when you're tapping, you're not going to be moving that much. Probably going to do something like this with your auto clicker. And then the next one we're going to do is going to be super lightning. This is an enchant you can get for free. Okay. So to get it for free, you do have to do, I got it down here. It is upgrade 5,000 enchant. So that's a lot of enchant upgrades. You might have to use the loot build first to be able to get it, but stacking both of these together is unreal. Okay. We're just absolutely wiping this area. More explosions because they stack independently. They're different enchants. So if I were to do a second lightning, it's not going to be as good as having super lightning. And the reason why I did super lightning third is, it's not a very easy one to get right out the gate. You do have to either buy it or you have to grind for it. But for free to plays, you can do that. You can totally do it. And the next one we're going to do is going to be the magic orb. So magic orb is really good. It's technically not even a tap one, but it's kind of similar because you don't need pets for this. So I'm going to put it in the category of tap, but you can see it's doing a lot of damage as well. It's a nice combo. Like a really nice combination. So the next one's going to be super lightning again. So there's 2 of them. These do stack pretty well. You definitely get more explosions as a result of it. I like this one because, again, extra explosions. You do have to buy this one out of the marketplace. But this is the stuff like you probably have enough gems to be able to go inside the, trading plaza, buy a second one. Then you're going to add another magic orb and another magic orb. Check it out. I mean, technically, you could probably do it just a full-on magic orb build because this thing's pretty nutty. The thing is it doesn't count as a tap. So it's part of our tap build, but it doesn't count as a tap. But this is a really great setup. Now, as far as flags go, this one's kind of weird because most of these are all based on pets, right? You could probably do an exotic treasure flag to get more loot. If you're going for money, then go for fortune or coins. You could probably swap out a magnet flag. So if you want, just set up magnet and then you can swap out magnet for something else. And I'm just going to enable auto tap for the, pay to win. Check this out. You can AFK here while your pets are somewhere else. So say you have your pets out. Like this is why I say tap's important. Say your pets are here. Put them on auto farm. We'll come over here. Actually, you could even do let's do a treasure flag. Say there's a treasure flag here. I'm getting treasure here and over there if I wanted to. And of course you can macro this. So you can grind 2 zones in 1. Again, underrated. Most people don't, realize they can grind 2 zones at once. And finally, if I want to make this absolutely crazy, all you got to do, set up a rainbow flag. What's going to happen is when we place this down, all of the pets are like the rainbow. Watch this. Everyone's like practically one-tapping it. Server can't keep up. It's lagging. You can see everything is looking like it's rainbow. And of course, you can combine rainbow with pretty much anything. If you want to get like a ton of coins very quickly, we're getting pretty close to max, which is just 300 sapphire bars. Some of you are going to be asking about like, DV, I noticed you never used diamond chest mimic. You didn't use party time and such. Yeah, these are not good enchants currently. I need to do a little bit more tests on party time with this update, but so far as of the last update, it wasn't doing much. Beyond that, like there's not many other good enchants in here. So I hope this helped you. If it did, smash that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I'll see you in the next vid. Peace.